What's going on, guys? It is October 5th. We've got another live one for us today. We do. We got Meeg, tired of all the Jada slander. Has there been any Jada slander? Jada is dead. Venom, classic hater of the Jada. We're going to talk a little bit about everything today. It's not all just one-sided. Play both. Fight for all teams, in fact. Just because there is a lot of right and wrong with all of it, right? Jada is dead set blowing us away. Jada is dead set on blowing us away. Jada is dead set on blowing us away. That is also a take. Yo, what's going up, Star Screamer? What's going up, dead set on being dead? I don't know, man. I didn't talk about that. The main thing I wanted to start out with was one of the main things was this last weekend was supposed to be a pretty big weekend for one of the companies. We'll start off with Storm. Is this music? Hold on, is there music? Give me a sec. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Give me 1 second on the music. Give me 1 second on the music. Alright, anyways, we'll get that. I'll get that fixed here in 1 sec. What? Is the music gone? Hold on. That's my bad. It's my bad. My bad, the music should be gone. These old radio shows. Sounds like 70s calm music. Alright. Getting stronger than before. There wasn't supposed to be a ring new commercial. Can you still hear it? Or is it gone? I'm pretty sure it was that background music. Let's see where it's at. Hold on. There it is. Is it still there or is it gone? It's still there? What is it? It's gone. Alright, good. Jesus. My bad about that. I don't know what the hell that was. I kind of set the tone off wrong, right? Should we restart? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh, man. Where do we begin today? We're going to start at Wonderfest. One of the main things that everybody was kind of looking forward to is that Storm was supposed to be there. Not only was Storm supposed to be there, but they were packing some heat, right? They were supposed to be packing some major heat, announcing 4 exclusives, including this guy right here. And me and Mars were keeping our ears pretty close to the ground on this one. And yeah, it just, Ryu, none of the exclusives were there other than Ken. So Ken was the only exclusive available at Wonderfest, even though there was 4 announced. 4? And you bring 1. Not a good look. Not a good start. Not a good start for Storm. I would not announce, and the thing is they had a pretty big announcement, right? Did they officially say they were going to be there? They were advertised as going to be there, yes. They were officially said they were going to be there. They were listed as Wonderfest exclusives in their advertisement. So I I would say that yes, those were officially advertised as Wonderfest. I love the Ryu. I love the color. That was the one I'm most excited for. It kind of looks, I actually thought when I first saw this, I thought this was Evil Ryu. Jada has something to do with it. No, Jada has nothing to do with it. But that leads me to believe that they're either saving it for New York Con. In fact, I found it interesting that they even made exclusives for an event they didn't even show up for. God, could I talk? They didn't even show up. So I don't know what happened. Was Storm supposed to? I think they were supposed to be there. And Storm just didn't show up. Because last year they were there. They had a humongous booth. Tons of reveals. Everything. That might mean they don't have much else planned and want to save them for NYCC. That would be the only thing I could think of. But I guess it's better to show up to NYCC than not show up at all, right? They're cooking. I can't fault them. But not a good look. Not a good start. We were expecting a lot of things coming out of Wonderfest and kind of building that hype into New York Comic Con. It just didn't happen. Now we gotta just hope that they have something at New York Comic Con. We know they're gonna be there. Confirmation they are gonna be there. But we don't know the capacity. I mean, we've been told kinda. Mars has really done all the behind the work scene with this. I have not. He's been talking to people. He has confirmed that Ken is gonna be there, the yellow Ken. And then he has confirmed that Yujiro will be for sale there. When is NYCC? It's next weekend. So not, obviously we're finishing this weekend. It's the next weekend. But, he did confirm that Yujiro is going to be there. Man, you guys, the community, man, we got to end up talking about the community and what you guys decide. The inconsistency of the community is something that needs to be studied. Really is super frustrating. It's insane. The amount of arguments that you guys make and excuses that people will make for certain companies, but then with other companies, they get the slide. They get the pass. They get, oh, well, this happened. Oh, well, that's because of this. It's funny, all the excuses come out if it's for a brand that the community likes. If it's not for a brand that the community likes, then all of a sudden, they lose those excuses for that particular company. I have heard more tariff excuses for Jada than any other company that's out there right now. And it's funny because last time I checked, the tariffs weren't exclusively for Jada. They were for every company, including Storm Arena. And for some reason, Storm Arena doesn't get that pass. Only Jada does. I wonder if Hasbro, scaling is an issue. Scaling is always an issue. But if Storm Arena does it, and does it wrong and poorly, because we're not just going to pick on Jada, we pick on Storm too. Storm's Yujiro Onma is out of scale. And I don't care how many excuses you guys want to make for that figure, it's out of scale. It's out of scale for even Storm Arena branding. Do you understand that Maximum Spider-Man is as tall as Yujiro Hanma Storm Arena? Last time I checked, Peter Parker was not the size of Yujiro Hanma. So it's out of scale. It is. Even with the drop-down hips, it gets closer, but it's still not there. It came with nothing but an extra head sculpt and some extra hands. Was priced $7 more than its counterpart in Baki. And it's funny. Everybody went so hard on the Wolverine, right? Oh, it's out of scale. The Venom, out of scale. It's out of scale. But Hasbro can get, they have to take all the bullets. But if Storm Arena does it, because you guys, a lot of people love Storm Arena, it's not out of scale. It's its own thing. It's not its own thing. It's listed as a 1/12 figure, folks. It is. And the excuses I see, it's a perfect size. You're just not appreciating it. It's out of size. It's underscaled. Spider-Man is not anywhere supposed to be as close to as tall as Yujiro Hanma. And go put the two side by side next to each other. Go take a look at them. They're looking eye to eye at each other. They are. The scale is all over the place in the show. I didn't see a part where Yujiro Hanma shrunk down to Peter Parker's size. I must have missed that episode. I must have missed it. I know I don't look at Peter Parker and think intimidating. Intimidation is not a word that comes to me when I look at Peter Parker without his Spider-Man suit on. I don't look at him and say, oh wow, what a big fella. That guy could kick my ass. That would be more Eddie Brock without the Venom. So I just don't get the inconsistencies with the toy community. It's very annoying. I hate it. And we're going to get to some other stuff. And it's oh man. I'm just on one today. I am. This one is not for the weak of the heart today. If you have soft feelings because of what I say, then I don't know. Check them at the door, because today I am going in on certain things. Especially Jada, with how people are allowing the time difference between them, but then Storm is getting told they're taking too long. I get so many more people telling me that Storm is taking too long than Jada's taking too long. Which is insane to me, because technically right now Jada is actually taking longer. Which is fair. It's fair. But people don't want to say it. People love Jada. That's fine. I love Jada. Just because I go at a company doesn't mean I don't love that company. But it doesn't mean that companies don't deserve some type of criticism either if they do something faulty. Lord knows the community doesn't hold back when Hasbro does something wrong. So why is it with these other companies, everybody holds back and says, oh, can't say that. They're doing their darndest, gosh darn it. We're willing to wait for them. Anyone else see the SFZ Revoltech Chun-Li? Ouch, only good thing, kicked effect for me. Dude, I can only handle so many Street Fighter lines. And it seems like a lot of people are dipping their feet in the pool, which is fine, but I really only have a spot for Storm and Jada at this time in the Street Fighter realm. I'm not going over to SH Figuarts. I'm not dipping into Revoltech. I'm not going to 52 Toys. I'm not going into all these other third-party companies. I'm not. I only got 2 spots for Street Fighter, and they've been filled with Jada and Storm. Those are the only 2. You don't see me saying Wolverine is overscaled to compare to G.I. Joe. It's its own subline. Well, it says Gamerverse on it, right? So nobody should have expected this Wolverine to be a comic Wolverine. It wasn't that. It says Gamerverse right on it. It's an over-exaggeration Wolverine from a video game. He's huge and bulky and stocky in that video game, as he is in the comics, but this is to epic proportions in that video game. You look at the video game, he's huge. So that's why they made the figure huge. That's exactly, I actually thought they were going to make him a little bit bigger. But they didn't, and everyone's like, well, he doesn't fit on my comic shelf. Well, he wasn't supposed to. So, I don't know what... I don't feel bad about Quinn Lee seeing that. Dude, that Quinn Lee figure, I don't know what the hype was about that, but wasn't for me. I wasn't about the Quinn Lee figure. But coming up to New York Comic Con, we are going to get this Ken. It is supposed to be there, and a lot of people are calling it Banana Ken. I was thinking mustard, right? Because he's got the red gi, which is ketchup, and then we got yellow gi Ken, which is mustard. Ketchup and mustard editions of Ken. That's fine. I mean, I get it. Bananas are yellow. This is yellow. I can see the comparison, right? But I was thinking more of a ketchup and mustard urine Ken. But that's the thing. It's like, you've got, even within Storm, even within its own division, Storm's Yujiro is even not in scale with its characters that they're making. Like, you look at the Yujiro figure, and he almost looks eye to eye with 5'9" Ryu and Ken. He is taller. I will give him that. He is taller, but he almost looks eye to eye with them. A 6'3" man, which is what the that is what the internet says that he is listed at. So I have to go off that. I mean, it's not like they go in the show, they don't say, "Oh, Yujiro Hanma listed at 6 or 5'11". They never say that, right? So I have to go off what the internet says about the size of this man. They say he's 6'3". Last time I checked, that was a pretty sizable difference. When a 5'9" person is standing next to a 6'3"er, that's a pretty substantial difference. You can tell. It shouldn't be, it's not like they stand almost eye to eye with each other as these figures do. They do. You can look at my video. I show it both ways. And then there's the excuse that, Baki's going to be its own scaling and its own line. That's fine. But it's like, why? Why wouldn't you just everything made to scale? I mean, that's a nice excuse you've painted, but why wouldn't you just make everything 1/12 scale? Why are you making Yujiro Hanma its own little world? And who knows how long that line's going to even last? Ken Food Line? You going to ask Mars to get you this yellow Ken for you? I don't know, man. I don't like asking. I mean, he seems a little wishy-washy about it at the moment. I'm not going to lie. He's like, well, if I can, I will. Which isn't a good sign. So, I'll try and get him one way or another, but I'm not really counting on Mars to deliver. He seems a little wishy-washy when I asked him about it, so it's not a big deal. If I really want him, I can get him, but I'd love to get the cheaper price at New York Comic Con. Is anybody else going to New York Comic Con in here? And it's crazy to say, I've seen so many people too talk about, man, they're really putting out the player twos for these characters, but they can't get the other figures out. Well, has anybody else seen the pre-orders for the other figures? All of them say 2026 outside of 2 characters, Baki and Sagat. So it's like, I don't know why people are expecting these other characters to be here already. But if you look at the pre-orders, even from the day they were announced, we're all slated for 2026. As stated in my reviews, too. So I find it funny that everyone's like, they're just pumping out player twos. Where are the new figures? They never said they were coming. They said, all of the pre-orders said these are slated for Q1, Q2 of 2026. So for them to still even put out these pre-orders, not to mention, we didn't see Jada even put out player twos for a long time, and they are like even back. Like, you look at, you're getting characters, that means they will spit out player twos fast. Because it's like, these are from figures that just barely dropped a couple months ago, right? These are P2s from players that literally just dropped like 3-4 months ago. For them to already have player twos is pretty nice. Yo, Black Void, what up? Okay, so it's okay for yellow Ken. Everyone likes it's. Okay, let me read this again. Okay, so it's okay for a yellow Ken. Everyone likes it, but Storm Player 2 Blanca in yellow and blue is classed as nasty. What kind of logic is that? I mean, it just flows better. There's some, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, there's no right or wrong answers, right? Like, you can like that Blanca. I personally didn't. I held the figure in hand. I don't know if anybody else in the room can say they had that yellow and blue Blanca in hand. I saw it. It was in my hands. The box was in my hands. I looked at it. It just wasn't good looking. I don't know. I haven't seen a player 2 that I've really even liked for Blanca. I don't like Blanca as a player 2. And that's not just to say for a company's sake. I can't see a sprite or an image where I'm like, oh, that's a cool player too, Blanca. Like, none of them look good, in my opinion. Look, I don't know. I mean, you can take a look at it. We can do it. I just don't like the color. It doesn't seem to really complement. Two exclusive Kens so soon in the line? I mean, yeah. Why not? When are they supposed to do them? I don't know. What do you guys think? Does that look good to you guys? Do you like that? Have you heard about the QC issues that the purple version of Ken is having? No, please, elaborate. I give it to anyone that has an in-hand opinion, but I prefer the new Blanca exclusive more. Yeah, I think that one's better looking. I mean, I don't like any of them, really. I mean, that one's the better looking, but you guys think this is awesome? I don't know what it is about it. I just can't, I don't know. I just don't like it. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's a right opinion. Doesn't mean you're wrong for liking it. Just means, you know, we have opinions. That's fine. There's no right or wrong answers. If some of you guys like the scaling of that Yujiro Hanma, then that's fine too. I'm just saying, for what I looked at and the figures that I compared him to, he looks underscaled to me. You like him? That's fine. I personally haven't even touched the figure since the review. That's how underwhelmed I was with the Yujiro Hanma. And I was very excited for that review, by the way. Super excited for Yujiro Hanma. I was. I thought Storm does big characters really well. And when I got it, I was like, oh, damn. Like, I didn't even have to pull it out to know that figure looks kind of small. It's not to say, and that's the thing too, it's not off by much, but it's off by enough. I think, and a lot of people will focus on the negative that I say about the figure being undersized, even though I said I think the sculpt's phenomenal, the paintwork's phenomenal, the shading, the figure itself is a great figure, but it's underscaled. And when it's underscaled, it makes the figure, it really, I don't know, you put it up next to Maximum Spider-Man and they're looking eye to eye, it's like, that doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem accurate. Doesn't seem like it's supposed to be like that. So, I mean, again, there are no right or wrong answers. If you ask a majority of the community, I think a lot of people would say he should probably be bigger. But if you think he's scaled correctly and that Baki's going to be its own thing, then that's fine. That's fine too. I was thinking not quite Sagat's size, because there's a big difference there. Sagat's got like a foot and some inches on him. Sagat's 7'4". So, Yujiro is listed at 6'3". There's a difference there. I mean, there's a big difference there as far as sizing, but this is a problem that Storm has had for a while. They've had trouble with scaling. When Storm Collectibles first started, they were listed as 1/12 figures. And then they eventually had to take that off the box because they were scaled too big. Now we're somewhere in the middle. Because the first two figures, Ryu and Ken, are scaled perfectly. Perfectly. But now this Yujiro Hanma's out there and you're like, uh-oh. Are we back with same scaling issues, but now we're on the other side of the spectrum? Now we're going a little bit too small? I got Yujiro the other day, a great figure, but yes, he is too small for me. And compared to the other Storms, his face is too small also. Dude, his head is really small. Even though that's kind of how he's, that's his stylization in the anime and the show. I don't know. There's something about that head. It's just super small. I don't know if I've even shown that, but like, this is a Marvel Legends, right? This is a Marvel Legends. Look how small this head is. I want you to take a look at that. This is a normal, like, I know this is Venom, right? But Eddie Brock still is supposed to have a normal-sized human head. This is a Marvel Legends head, next to Yujiro Hanma's head. Take a look at that. Now, Eddie Brock is about supposed to be the size. How tall is Eddie Brock? I don't even know. Eddie Brock height. Let's type it in. Eddie Brock is 6'3". Okay, so he's a bigger human. The size that actually Yujiro is supposed to be. You're telling me these two are supposed to be depicted at the same height? He's got a pea-sized head over here. After watching your reviews, I've opted out of the Baki line. I'm not out on the Baki line. I'm going to give Baki a chance and kind of see where he's at for Yujiro. I want to see if that's the case, if they are kind of just scaling him in their own thing. Because that could be a thing, but I think it's a stupid play. Like, you can give them that excuse until we get Baki and then see from there, but it's like, if, I don't know, I just think it's a bad, I don't know. I just think it's a bad way to do it. Why would you not scale him with all the other 6-inch figures? He doesn't even scale well with Street Fighter Alpha. Granted, it is its own property, so maybe it gets its own scaling. It just seems like, what a waste, right? And look at that head sculpt. It's a phenomenal head sculpt. Like, it's a great, look at the shading. The sculpt itself looks really good, but it's like, it's a small figure, folks. It's a small figure. So, I mean, you can be the judge if you ever get one in hand. But he doesn't scale well with the other. Like, you stand him next to a Guile, who's listed at 6 foot from Jada. He's about the same height as that. If not, it almost seems like Guile's a little bit taller. So, I don't know. It's on you. But to me, and I would say a majority of people, I would say he's a little undersized. But, so what are your guys' thoughts on the Player 2? I hear a lot of chitter-chatter about the Player 2s. What are your guys' thoughts on the Player 2? I hear a lot of people saying, I like the Player 2s, but where are the rest of the figures? Who are we waiting on, folks? We're waiting on Baki, and we are waiting on Sagat for this year. That's it. So I don't know there just seems to be a lot. I see a lot of people say, Storm's taking too long. Storm's taking too long. What are we talking about? That Player 2 is cool, and I'll take it. However, I like the purple one better. The purple one is better, 100%. Thoughts on the MK line, keeping the accessories locked away in the Player 2 2-packs? I'm out on that line anyways, just because McFarlane's doing it. I don't know. The 2-packs are where all the accessories are made. Maybe he does like a deluxe edition eventually, like he ended up doing with the DC Multiverse line, but I don't know. It's hard. I just don't like, it almost seems like they're kind of hard to find. That line's not been like really pumped out in production. I haven't seen that line. Have any of you guys even seen the Mortal Kombats at any retailers yet? The Player 2, the accessories being behind Player 2s is kind of lame because I don't want to spend $70 on each 2-pack. Good take on the McTurdlin. I actually like some of the McFarlane stuff. I really wanted to get the Batman Returns stuff from McFarlane, though. I do want that Batman Returns Penguin and the Batman and the Catwoman seem pretty cool, but they should all scale together, whatever the property. That's the whole point of doing 6-inch arena line. Player 2s, I'm not feeling Yellow Ken, too yellow. The other Ken and Ryu are fire. MK looks ass. Yeah. A lot of people like the purple Ken. It's just too much yellow. Like, this has a nice contrast to it. I like the purple. I actually said I wanted Jada to do this one for their Street Fighter Ultra 2, but they ended up going a different route. They ended up going with a white Gi Ken. But I like it. They're just fillers, guys. They really are just supposed to be fillers until the other figures come out. Just like what Jada does. Nice. Alpha, what's up, man? Yo, Lil Blade, what's up? I'm always for player 2. They should pump out a little faster until new ones come out. But even on the Jada, that Jada is slow. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, everyone's fine when Jada does it. How come Storm Arena doesn't get that luxury? Everyone's fine that Jada pumps out player 2s in between them getting out their new figures. But if Storm Arena does it, it's like, oh, well, where are the other figures? You've announced so many figures. Yes, but 85% of the figures they announced in the pre-order said they weren't coming until 2026. So I don't know why people keep thinking that. I mean, do you know how easy it is to tell the factory, hey, instead of red, can you pump out purple and then yellow? You know how easy that probably is to put that order in? It's probably a signature away. Oh, and by the way, we have this head sculpt. Can you just produce this head sculpt with this? That's probably a 5-minute decision. Why are we talking about Jada at this point? They're done. They're not done. And we need Jada. The call alone to China is $20. Well, their workers are already there, so yeah, I mean, just to say, hey, can you make this purple instead of red? Can you make this yellow instead of red? It's probably a pretty easy fix. So yeah, they already have the molds. They're already making the figures. They just changed the color dye of what goes into the plastic. It's easy. Storm, don't get a pass on missing out on that Ryu. Blade, which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the one that wasn't at Wonderfest? I think because Storm has been doing figures in general longer than Jada, people think they should be able to pump out more figures. Have they not pumped out more figures this year? They've pumped out just as many as Jada has. Let's take a look at the track record for 2025 so far. So far, Jada has 3 new figures out, which include Blanca, Sagat, and Vega. Storm, while they're not all from the same property yet, and I say yet with an asterisk because there is still one more to come, they've dropped 3 figures this year also. They've dropped for Storm Arena, Yujiro Onma, Ken, and Ryu, with soon to come Sagat and Baki. So they'll have a total of 5 new figures out for their 6-inch line. Granted, 2 are from different properties, but Jada only has 3 new figures out, where I don't see the other 3 figures coming this year. There's deadlines, folks. You have to basically get these things out by a certain amount of time. Jada is going to miss the cutoff for 2025. And then you look at player 2s for this year for Jada. They put out Blue Guile, Purple Fei Long, a Silver Cammy, and then Dalsim and M. Bison. So 5 player 2s. Granted, some were deluxe, so they're still technically player 2s, but they did come with more stuff. But that's 5 player 2s. Storm has now got 3 player 2s. So let me get this straight. If we're doing the math, Jada has more player 2s than Storm does. Last time I checked, 5 was more than 3, but everyone seems to be fine that Jada's only given us 3 new figures this year, with no indication of getting the rest of those figures out by the rest of this year, because they're running out of time. If Cammy, who supposedly was already finished, like the Balrog, like the E-Honda, like the, who's the other character? Oh, Akuma. Cammy was announced a month ago, folks, a month ago, and her pre-order satisfaction date is November. You're telling me that they're going to announce Akuma, E-Honda, or they're not going to announce, they could announce all 3. I don't think they will. But you're telling me that Jada is going to announce one and have it satisfy next month or December? I don't see it happening. I don't think they get them out this year. But that's the thing. It's like Storm is getting crucified for putting out too many player 2s. Jada's put out 5. And we haven't seen a new figure from Jada since quarter 2. As far as new characters are concerned. And I think they raised their prices. Because tell me how Cammy, although an exclusive, is $32.99 with just a simple repaint. Now, the argument will be made that, oh, White Gi Ken was also $32.99. Yes, but he came with additional accessories. He came with a flame effect. That the original Ken did not. So there's some justification there for a price bump. There really is no justification for $32.99 Silver Cammy. Okay, it's not Blonde Banana Ken. Banana, not banana. Banana. It's Mustard Ken. Red Ken is Ketchup. Why does everyone keep calling him Banana? Mustard Ken. Ketchup Ken. That looks a lot better than Banana Ken. You guys have a lot of fixation on bananas. I'm not going to say anything, but hey, your preferences are your own. If you guys like to sit there and think about bananas, that's an interesting shape for you guys to focus on a lot, but hey, there's no judgment here. You guys love bananas. You're all about bananas. That's fine. It's not my style, but hey, to each their own. If you want to sit there and focus on banana all the time, that's okay. I'm not going to judge you. All are welcome here. But you guys sure do fixate on the banana a lot. That's all you guys are talking about. There was a banana Ryu a while back. Now it's banana Ken. It's just a lot of banana with you guys. Just saying. We'll throw that out there. How about Mustard Ken? And then the red Ken is Ketchup. How about that? No? I think that's pretty catchy. I saw the whole Jada Street Fighter at Walmart for $29.99, and that's the old wave, too. That's not even the new wave. The only ones I've seen at Walmart so far are Fei Long, Chun-Li, Ryu, M. Bison, and Ken. A lot of bananas. Oh, God. We're swimming in bananas on this channel. Whew. Strawberry Ken and Banana Ken. Sure. Sure, again with the bananas. That's fine. A lot of bananas from this group, and that's okay. Hey, we don't judge. I wonder what BBTS exclusive will look like. Well, here's the thing. I wonder if... I think all of these will end up showing at Big Bad Toy Store. Just throwing that out there. I do. I do think all the exclusives some way make to their way over to Big Bad Toy Store. They'll probably be $35. I'm pumped for Yellow Ken. That's the one I've been waiting for. Yellow Ken. I don't know, man. I just like the contrast here better. Yellow Banana Ken is fine. It's just a lot of yellow, man. I mean, could we at least have made it a shade darker or a shade lighter than is a little bit of the, like, I just wish there was a little bit of contrast here. The yellow of his hair is the same yellow of the gi. I just wish it was a little bit, at least put a wash on the yellow or something to kind of differentiate. Like, it's just, they didn't even change the color of the gloves either. It's just, I don't know that that's what the character even had, different color gloves, but it's just a lot of yellow. It's too much yellow. But I've seen a fair amount of people say they like Yellow Ken. Lemonade Ken. How many people answered that Jada Next Level Insta poll? What did it ask? Like, what brand they wanted to see them get in the next 12-inch line, or the next 1/12th line? That's how it was in the game. White and yellow Ken all the way. Hey. How are you guys going to get this, though? Yeah, Jada put out a poll today. What brand or what license would you want to see them pick up in the 1/12th scale? Or no, is that what it said? I can't. Let me see if I got. See what it says. Let me see what it said. It said. It says, what scale do you prefer to collect? Oh, that's what it is. 1/12th, I think. I've never seen a company run away like Jada. Storm showed up and took all the Jada aura. That's funny you say that. because that is a perfect segue into the next topic. Where is Jada? Where are they? I don't give a shit about Frosty the Snowman. Where are they? Guys, these figures are going to be pushed out to 2026. They are. And I haven't seen a company not really, like, I see Storm Arena running, gunning, hitting the gas, and I see Jada just saying, here, go ahead. Granted, at the end of the day, you can collect both. It's not like that big of a deal, but it's just like, they are supposed to be pushing them, they're supposed to be pushing each other. We still need Jada toys. And they're making it a little too easy for Storm Arena to just come in and take their spot that they've held for the last 2 years. They are. If I was a business and I saw a company of working on the same license as me, doing the same thing as me, I would be in like urgent mode to be pushing out product. Why haven't they been able to get these pre-order images out yet? Why? Look at Storm. They've basically already given you guys the full 2026 catalog. Why can't Jada do that? People are wondering when these figures are going to release, and we just have to sit here in the dark based off their San Diego Comic-Con interview. I think that's the part where I'm frustrated. We have no idea where these figures are supposed to be heading. We have no idea when Akuma is supposed to be coming. We sit there every day looking for a pre-order email from Jada Toys. We have no idea when E-Honda is supposed to be coming, other than what June said. According to June last year, the whole roster was supposed to be completed by the end of this year. That didn't happen. And now we're patiently waiting for the rest of Wave 5. Where are they? Jada is advertising their diecast a lot more. $50 for Frosty's insane. Jada currently working on more cereal mascots, Lucky Charms. Hey, I'd love Lucky Charms as one, actually. Apple Jacks, Quaker Oatmeal Man. Nothing out of June as of late. They should stop the Frosty Snowman and weird cereal stuff and focus on Street Fighter product. I've said it, and I want to know where, and that's another thing. We don't even get the opportunity. Why are they now not going to New York Comic-Con? June earlier, I believe at Wonderfest said they were going to go. They were planning on going to Wonderfest. Or excuse me, they were planning on going to San Diego and then New York. And then where are they? Now they're not even going. So now they've got no update. We've got zero update on where they are, what they could be doing, what they're working on, what the holdup is. People kept comparing Jada and Storm when they weren't even the same game design. Not going to name names, but the reviewers straight up basically trashed Jada when Storm came out, and then these were shills. I think it's unfair to compare anything right now. We don't have comparable anything right now. Like, yes, they are working on the same alpha game, but these are their first prototypes, folks. So I'm not going to judge that. And I'm not going to compare. I mean, if we have to compare Ryus, yeah, there are 2 Ryus out, but they're from different games. But if we're looking at quality of material, you can compare that, I guess. Like the plastic and the quality of materials and things like that, but I don't know. I don't think it's a fair comparison yet. I think that's the thing. It's like, you see what Storm's doing, Jada, right? They're announcing when things are going to be available to the public. Like Jada, like Storm at least is not holding any type of carrot in the air in front of the donkey. I'll use that expression. Like, you know how you've seen that cartoon where the person riding the donkey has a fishing pole with a carrot dangling at the end of it to get the donkey to move forward. It's just always just out of reach. Jada just leaves you in the dark. You have no idea what's going on over there. You have no idea when any of the figures are going to show up. All of a sudden, just one day, boom, they're there. Pre-orders are out. Like, at least Storm is giving you a roadmap. And I think that's what I have liked so much about the differences between the two companies is like, Storm says, hey, Charlie, he's coming out Q1. We don't know which month yet, but Q1 next year, he's coming out. Dan, Q1 next year. We don't know which month yet, but he's coming out next month. That's when you'll want to look for him. And then same with the rest of their Storm Arena figures. It's like Sagat. He's out. He was slated for Q4. He could be out anywhere from October to December. That's when you'll expect to see him. But with Jada, it's just June said that they're supposed to be coming. We don't know when. Nobody knows. Hey, they're coming. Why? I'm assuming they have a final product shot where they could put out. Why can't they just give us an estimate on where these figures are at? Hey, we have a final E-Honda. Let's take some promotional shots and say, hey, could be Q4 through Q1 of next year. We don't know. Why can't they do that? Instead of just letting us, that's the only thing I'm getting frustrated with is I'm tired of people saying that too. They said in San Diego Comic-Con that they're coming out. Well, no shit, but when? Well, they said it. They were. It's June. He said it. He said they were coming. Well, anybody can say they're coming. But here we are, October. They're not going to hit this year. I have my mind pretty much set that they're not going to be released this year. Without Jada, we wouldn't have Arena and stuff like, oh, we need Jada, though. We do need Jada, guys. And I still love Jada, but there are things that Jada are doing right now that I'm not a fan of. There are things you can like and dislike about a company without you turning. It's not all or nothing. You can like things about a company and not like things about a company like Hasbro. I love the variety of characters and, the frequency and what they get figures out is crazy. But they're working on a different scale than, they're working with big billion-dollar budgets and things like that. Not million-dollar budget, but they work at a different pace than the other companies. But I hate their pricing and their inconsistency with their sculpting and different things that they add to their figures, right? I can say that I like and dislike things about Hasbro. I can now say there weren't a lot of things I could say I disliked about Jada, but right now one of the main things I dislike is their lack of communication with the community, which used to be one of their strong points. Because June was going on different interviews every couple of months, talking about where things were at, what figures were coming. But then things kind of changed when they had a competitor that could sit there and watch the same live stream, right? But now we have absolutely zero communication with Jada on where things are at with their different figures. So that part is getting frustrating. I still love Jada. I still love them for what they do. But prices are also starting to increase with them, which used to be one of the main things people liked. But now these figures are over $30. And when you got another competitor that is probably a little bit better in the quality and production and things like that, now you're starting to be like, okay, we got to look at things again. When they first came out, they were a one-man race. They had the speed, they had the quality, they had the price, they had the accessories, but now it's different. It is different. I'm going to be out on the Jada game and wait till 2026 and to jack the price up even more. I mean, that's what's scary. They haven't even talked about the $32.99 cami. If Storm makes Jada nervous because of the same IP, they can switch to Fatal Fury. Guys, Fatal Fury figures are not selling. Wait, Fatal Fury. What is Fatal? Hold on. Is that a... Hold on. I had something in my mind other than... Here's the thing. They can't just throw those molds away. I think people don't understand the business part. It's like, you can't just throw these 3 characters in the garbage because these 3 figures probably cost them over $50,000. Could you guys throw $50,000 away in the trash? Probably not. Jada's not a big enough company that they can just throw sculpts away on a whim. And the fact that they have 3 of them, they can't just be like, all right, trash them. We're working on something else. These figures, these 3 figures, even though in small, probably cost them in total well over $50,000. So you can't just throw them away. What's the point of Jada at this point? Be honest. I think that the point is just to have options. I don't see what the problem is in having Jada as an option. I mean, you can pick. They do different things. There are different things to like about each company. Different styles, I guess you could say. I think that Storm needs Jada and Jada needs Storm. They both push each other. Now it seems like Jada has pushed Storm a little bit more than Storm has pushed Jada, but it's undetermined at this point. I think they both need each other. If Jada goes away, which I don't think they are by any means, unless license issues happened. That somebody brought that up. I think it was Keaton. Is there any chance that there's some licensing issues going on here? Is there any way that Jada lost the Street Fighter license? No, right? Like, that's not an option. We're not even putting that on the table. That's just a beyond crazy take. Is there any chance that there could be anything like that happening? It just seems weird. Storm wouldn't be here without Jada. My issue is if Jada checked out, Storm will slack. That's what I'm saying. Storm will start to slack if they see that Jada is backing down. And vice versa. Storm has proven to be objectively better than Jada. There's no point in buying Jada. I mean, that's false because they're working on different characters right now in different scales. Like, I love their Dhalsim. I love a lot of, like, right now, if I had to choose between Ryu's and Ken's, sure, I'm taking Storm's, Ryu's, and Ken's. But right now, there's a bunch of other characters that Storm hasn't even gotten to touch that I can still appreciate Jada for. And it's different games, too. Like, they're not working on the same games yet. But my God, if they announce that if Storm comes out and announces they're working on Street Fighter Ultra 2 at New York Comic Con as like a big announcement, that, oh God, that would be interesting. Jada is in its local stores, so there's no chance for clearance on them. Speaking of local stores, I haven't even seen Jada in Target anymore. I have 3 Chun-Lis that have sat there for about 4 months now with no restocks. So for them to be at local stores is starting to become I don't know if that's as factual as a statement. We're talking you can get Wave 1 at Walmart and a couple Chun-Lis at Target. I'm not really counting that. I can't go in and go get Guile anywhere besides local comic book shops that are carrying it. I can't go get Vega anywhere. I can't go get... I've seen I've seen Dhalsim a couple of times at Target, but he sells fast, so he's gone. I haven't seen Sagat or Blanca at Target yet. I know a few of you guys have. I've never seen them at my Target. So the fact that they're at retail stores, you got to put that with an asterisk because, yes, old Player 1... Wave 1 figures are at retail, but I haven't seen the other ones. They could easily just pick up one of the 2 other alpha games. Yeah, but do you know how long it takes to create an action figure? It takes a long time. I think people don't know the true concept of an action figure and the way it works. To take it from concept art to plastic to paint, I don't think this community really takes into consideration how long it takes to make an action figure. It's a process. It takes about 2 years per figure. From start to finish to getting product out, it takes about 2 years. So it's not like they can be like, oh, well, Storm's doing Alpha 3. Let's get out with these guys and go make then that puts them even further back. That puts them even further behind the 8 ball if they have to pivot. I don't think they can do it. Dhalsim is always at our Walmart. He's basically a peg warmer. Really? That's interesting. I wouldn't even buy Ultra Street Fighter again, and I have 10 targets around me, and Jada's no longer at them. Last I seen was Red Chun-Li. Never seen Blue Guile. I saw Blue Guile once. One time. And that was it. Used to take 9 months. I think nowadays it's cut lower than that. Was it 9 months? I mean, I don't know. I just know for these companies. I mean, look at when these figures were announced, folks. I hear that Storm is taking a long time. Guys, when did they announce Charlie and Guy and Chun-Li earlier this year, right? And they're announced for Q1. At least at least Dan and Charlie are, right? So they were announced earlier this year at Wonderfest, and they were now scheduled for Q1 of next year. We got Balrog, E Honda, and Zangief almost 2 years ago. Almost. We're at a year and a half right now, and we still don't even have pre-orders for them. So the fact that people say and have the audacity to say that Jada is not running slower and Storm takes too long is insane. Because that Balrog and E Honda and the whole roster has been announced almost 2 years ago, and we don't even have pre-orders for any of the Wave 5 yet. And we already have pre-orders pretty much for 11 figures of Street Fighter Alpha 3 from Storm. By the time they get these figures out that you see on the screen currently, Storm Arena will have 11 Alpha 3 figures out. Because these characters probably at the earliest will hit November or December of next year, and that's if things run absolutely perfect. I expect you probably won't see these three until early 2027, like January. So the fact that people are saying that Storm is slow and Jada's faster, I don't know what we're talking about. I don't understand the delay on Balrog, Honda, Akuma. We should have pre-orders at least by now. That's what I'm saying. Not to mention June, and that's what everybody likes to go to. That's their favorite line. Any Jada stan that's art, and I love Jada. They made this channel. They made Storm Arena a possibility. They've done all these things, but it's like now you have to look at different things. It's like June said that those figures were basically done. He said that. He said that at San Diego Comic-Con. He said Balrog, Akuma, E Honda are basically done. We're putting on the final touches. That was almost 3 months ago. And we don't even have pre-orders out yet. So for them basically being done, that seems like an understatement. Pre-orders don't mean jack until they're in hand. No disrespect. That's another thing too. Do you guys count so you know how there's different companies, like distribution is different for all these companies, right? They are different. They work with different groups. They work with different factories, things like that. When a figure is available to get some way, somehow, would you not say that's released, or do you not think so? Just curious. Because I see a lot of people that are counting Big Bad Toy Store as like, oh, that means once it's hit Big Bad Toy Store, that means it's released. That's when it counts. I'm not counting that. Big Bad Toy Store is one of the worst distributor toy companies in the game. Not only once do they get their figures in stock, it takes them like 2 weeks to get the figure to you. US release versus Asian release. If the figure is available one way or another, that is a release to me. Pre-orders don't mean being released. I'm not counting that. I'm talking like if the figure is available to get to you some way, somehow, does that count as a release? If it's out in China or wherever, it's out. Because it should be obtainable eventually. I count Big Bad Toy Store as the official release. I'm not jumping through hoops or paying extras to get the figure. I don't think... So we're counting... I don't think it... So import. So if an import figure is available... I'm in the UK, and I've started getting Jada figs from Australia. They're shifty. I'm just saying, if a figure is available, it's available. Whether you want to pay the price or not is irrelevant. If a figure is available to get, you have the opportunity to get it if you want it. If you truly want it, you can buy it. It's available. It's been released. The figure is out. The minute you are able to purchase one from a retail store, regardless of the vendor, it's released. It doesn't count if it's an Asia release or it's available in Asia or US. If it's out, it's out. You can get it. Now, whether you decide you want to spend the price to get it or not, that's another story. But if it's released, it's released. You can buy it. Ryu and Ken were available at their designated pre-order times. I got my Ken and Ryu in May. That was the time they were said to release. And it's funny that people reference the Storm Arena website so much because that's a Hong Kong website, right? If we go right now over to Storm Collectibles, this is not a US website. So the fact that people always go to this and are like, oh, this is a Utah. That's where I live. I live in Utah. But see that right there at the end? Hong Kong. This is a Hong Kong website. When they put HK, just like when you type in gov.us, that means United States. This is Hong Kong. So this is a retail store for Hong Kong. Hence why you can never buy the arena figures on the website. Why? Because they have signed their distribution and official retailer as Big Bad Toy Store. So the fact that people are already over here saying, oh, well, this is $27. No, it's not $27. You have to go to Big Bad Toy Store to find out our price because that's who they distribute to the United States through. How much is that guy in the United States? $29.99 minus tariff charges and things like that. So it's like, yeah, if we're counting that, that's its official retail price. But that's the thing. Once it's released, these figures are available. They said Ken and Ryu were supposed to come out in May. They did come out in May. Now, Big Bad Toy Store didn't get theirs until September and August. But hey, it was available if you wanted it. So are we counting that? I think we should. Big Bad Toy Store charged me more than the retail price? I know, because it was probably their tariff tax that they added on there. Money isn't an issue. I'll pay the premium if I want it bad enough. Factual. I got Storm Arena, Ken, and Ryu last week. Was that from Big Bad Toy Store, or where was that from? But you're saying pre-orders are a sign that they will be out when that's not Storm's history? That's not Storm's history with Big Bad Toy Store. And that's all I can say. That's all I can say. That all the pre-orders, because Blanca got pushed out through Big Bad Toy Store, but I had Blanca 5 months before Big Bad Toy Store even got theirs. So, you guys got to quit counting. You guys got to quit counting Big Bad Toy Store as your plug for getting these figures. If it's released, right? Because I got Blanca in 2024, and Big Bad Toy Store didn't get their Blanca until March of 2025. So, I mean, it was released on time. The fact that Big Bad Toy Store, for whatever reason, doesn't get their shipment for forever, I can't tell you what's going on with that, but Storm sticks to their pre-order schedule and gets them out on time. If you're waiting on Big Bad Toy Store, then that's a poor strategy to get these figures then, I guess. I don't know. I don't use Big Bad Toy Store very often. I do, but I don't. Sometimes they're kind of like the last option. I think Jada should do something if they don't want to be eaten alive by the competition. I'm just saying. I just want to know where the pre-orders are at. How come Storm can get their pre-orders so far out ahead of time and at least give us an estimation? Who's the official plug? I usually go on AliExpress or I go on eBay. Because if you go on AliExpress, like, let's do this. Go to AliExpress, type in Sagat. So, if you're going to wait on Sagat through Big Bad Toy Store, you're probably not getting Storm Sagat until next year. But if you're coming over here, it's a pre-order. These are vendors directly through China, by the way. So these are vendors that promote $50 for Sagat, which is probably what he'll cost you through Big Bad Toy Store. I don't know what language that is, but why is it all in Spanish? Hello? Why is this all in Spanish? English. So this is set to release December 19th. Shipping $10, $46, $48 for Sagat. December 19th, if you want it. Now, that's probably what you're going to get close to paying through these guys. Because you don't have, because you look at this. Sagat's $37.99, right? And then you're going to do is there no tariff charge on this one? There's probably not, but then you pay $4, so you're paying a couple dollars more, like $6 or $7 more, but you're probably not getting this figure in Q4. You're probably going to get it closer to Q1 of next year. So I don't know. It's up to you guys, but if it's available, it's available, in my opinion. June's been radio silent outside the shows. Factual. I'm not getting Baki figures. I canceled it. If they did the 90s VHS Baki, I'd get that one. Yeah. AliExpress be sending people crunch boxes, though? Yeah, I don't usually order from AliExpress if you're See, that's why I usually order too. I wouldn't say poor strategy. Overseas sites don't replace your figures if they are damaged or missing parts, whereas my experience with BBTS has been great when I had issues. I mean, it depends. I haven't had any poor experiences with overseas stuff other than AliExpress has had my packages come crunched. I haven't had missing parts. But I see what you're saying. If you did have, like, those problems, then yeah. But then it's like, but that's where it's like, as a collector, you got to decide, are you choosing speed or are you choosing quality? Like, I don't know. If you're going to wait on Big Bad Toy Store, then wait on Big Bad Toy Store for those luxuries, I guess you could say, or those benefits. But you're going to be waiting months later. You're going to see a review from the YouTubers months earlier than when you guys get your figure, and then you're going to blame Storm for their speed. So it's like the figures are out and available, but you're going to blame them for Big Bad Toy Store not getting their shipments. Jaden shouldn't have taken all those licenses. That's what happened to Super 7. They took on Disney, etc., then failed. I just want the last Jada Street Fighter figures to be done. Factual. I hate BBTS. Wish they sold through Amazon. BBTS release dates have always been optimistic. Factual. I think it was a mistake for Jada to take on so many licenses just for 1 or 2 figures of each line per year. Factual. But you ordered it yourself, so why are you not disappointed that they're not the VHS version? Stoned, what did I see that you wrote? You wrote that Storm was taking too long the other day. Or I read one of your, like, old messages that you wrote on, like, a video forever. You're like, Storm takes too long. They take too long. They're moving faster than Jada at this point. They are. Or they're moving at the same speed, I should say. If you guys are waiting through Big Bad Toy Store, then they're moving at the same speed. If you're not, then I don't know. $50 Frosty the Snowman figure. I think there are a couple people out there. I had an issue with Mega Man from the 3-0, and BBTS basically said, sorry, out on you, no refund or anything after I showed them the problem. Yeah. I mean, you could always call Jada. They're usually pretty good about replacing their stuff, but yeah, the vendors don't usually do that. Stoned is a Jada operative. I don't know. The Baki line is interesting. I'm going to wait till Baki. Dude, I couldn't even sell my Yujiro Hanma for $40. That's insane. That just shows you the interest in that. My parlays ain't hitting today. That Frosty can stay on the shelf. I don't know. I just wish that. I think that's the thing. I am for Jada, but their lack of communication and leaving people in the dark has made me a little bit sour. A little upset, a little bit frustrated with their performance this year. If you had to rate Storm and rate Jada on their performance this year, I mean, Jada has still gotten a fairly decent catalog out this year, right? So you can't say that Jada's had a bad year. You could say their second half of the year has been pretty poor, but, I mean, so far this year, they've pumped out product. They've pumped out more than Storm has, but Storm's just been more in the face of people because they've been announcing pre-orders like crazy. But if you look at Jada's catalog this year, it's fairly decent. I mean, we have a Player 2 Fei Long, Player 2 Cammy, Player 2 M. Bison, Player 2 Dalsim, a Player 2... Who am I missing? I'm missing someone. Guile, Blue Guile, even though most people never saw Blue Guile in their life, he was available. And then we have 3 new figures, 3 new characters. We got Sagat, Vega, and Blanca. Where on Storm's end, so that's 8 figures. To Storm so far have released 3 Kens, 2 Ryus, and then if you guys are counting Yujiro Hanma, I wouldn't because he's from a different property. That would be 6. But Jada's 5 to Storm, or Storm's 5 to Jada's 8. And then you got Sagat coming out this year. So Storm will end with 6, and then we'll see where Jada ends with. Eduardo, you do have to email them quite a bit, like a video and stuff like that of what's wrong with the figure. It wasn't that hard for me the first time, but I did notice the second time around it was a lot harder. And that's the thing too, is I do want 2 of these figures, so I do I do order my second figure through Big Bad Toy Store. So it's not like I'm against Big Bad Toy Store and ordering through them, but I do know that I will get Sagat this year through a Chinese vendor. And then my second one will show up through Big Bad Toy Store probably sometime next year. Your friend in the South was able to get you Blue Guile? That's fire. I emailed in the video and had to keep cutting it because the video was too long. Yeah, I don't know. If Storm do Resident Evil 1 and 2, it's basically over. Nobody's doing Resident Evil. I've been told by multiple sources in the toy industry that the holder of that license does not want toys being made of it. There's a reason why. It's basically, even June confirmed that Resident Evil was off the table for any company. So, if he said that, I'm going to trust what June said. If Sagat comes out this year, I'll be proud. I mean, that's what it says, but we'll see. If I had to bet, if I was a betting man, I'd say it hits Big Bad Toy Store in January or February. But you will see reviews on Sagat by November or December. I would love to see Resident Evil 5, but Chris, but yeah, not holding my breath. June also said they'd finish Street Fighter this year. He did say that. What if they do reveal Resident Evil? Then I'll be happy for you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I could give a shit about Resident Evil. Never a game I had any interest in. Now, don't know any of the characters. I would be stoked for you guys, but me, I could care less if they did Resident Evil. I agree Jada might need to scale back on some of their smaller IPs. I think so too. I don't know why you would not. If you saw your main money maker. Now, I would assume their diecast is their main money maker from Jada Toys. But if I saw from my action figure division that one of the main money makers, and I think we could all agree that Jada's probably #1 action figure line is probably Street Fighter, was struggling, I would probably set back and say, hey guys, stop working on Captain Crunch for a second and let's focus over here so we can get these out. Right? Oh, I'd love a Jada Teletubby. It's because they released as they did for Resident figures in the late 90s. Retailers can play maggot dogs, half-eaten figures. Oh, yeah, I mean, I think that was more a 90s thing. I think unfriendly kid figures they have like collector sections now in Target and stuff and Walmart that I think you don't necessarily have to put those on the kid aisles anymore. But the thing is, and even you can even see in Storm that they know where the moneymaker is, right? Because we have now seen 11 announced characters for Street Fighter Alpha 3. And we have only seen 2 for Darkstalkers and like a couple for King of Fighters and Baki. Like, there's clearly an emphasis on trying to push out their moneymaker in Street Fighter. Dude, this is one thing that you guys know that Storm has the licensing to Street Fighter Ultra 2. Now, I don't know. I'm sure there's restrictions on what they can do with the property, but I'm just saying, if they come out and announce that they're doing Street Fighter Ultra 2 figures as well, come New York Comic Con, and that's like one of their big reveals, because how hard would it be to transition the Ryu figure from Alpha 3 into Street Fighter Ultra 2? I mean, we're talking, that's a slightly darker tan in the skin tone and a different alternate head, and that figure's a Street Fighter Ultra 2. That would be insane. Now that's where things would get interesting real fast. I've been waiting for the damn Fruity Pebbles figures. That's all. Fruity Pebble figures. Oh, man. And it's not just Fruity Pebbles. I believe there's Cocoa Krispies. I think Fred's Cocoa Krispies. And Barney is Fruity Pebbles. No, I think they're just scaling way back on their collectibles, Turtle. I don't think they'll ever be finished with their collectibles line, because they don't really have to be, but they can just kind of push those out and not make it a main focus, where it seems like they've clearly gotten some type of rhythm in distributing out these arena figures. Cocoa Pops and Nesquik. I mean, Stone, that's another thing. I mean, the Mega Man line has even been moving slower. Mortal Kombat. I think everybody and their dog wants one of these companies to get Mortal Kombat. I'm not going to lie, though. I have seen a lot of... I do like... It's the thing with McFarlane, bro. I think their sculpting is pretty nice, but the figures themselves are just trash. They are. So, I'm going to just take a little second here. Come with me. That is a nice reptile head sculpt, right? Like, I like that. But notice all their good stuff is coming in. Like, that's a cool looking scorpion with that blood. That's cool. I like that. Like, that looks good. I just know these figures are trash. Like, the articulation is trash. Like, if you're just wanting representation of Mortal Kombat of any kind on your shelf, these are not bad to hold a place. They're not. Like, these look, like, that looks fairly good to me. It's just the articulation, man. Like, that doesn't look bad to me. It's just like, the pins are, the fact that he's never evolved his figures whatsoever, and like, I don't know. It's just McFarlane bugs a little bit. Like, that doesn't look bad. That's a pretty good looking Raiden. But it's like $30, and it doesn't come with any accessories or anything, and everything's locked behind these 2-packs. That's where I'm like, okay. I wonder if that's in here. Let's see. No, I don't want to create an account. I just want to look at it. Oh, they don't have an image yet. They don't have an image yet anyways, so it doesn't matter, but corporate mascot figures, the world has gone crazy. Factual. They don't look bad, but they're worth the price. But that's the thing. It's like, they're selling really well. I mean, for how bad people, like, in the community don't like those figures or say they don't like those figures, they sell out everywhere. I haven't even seen them on the shelves anywhere yet. The Barclays bird. I'm trying to get rid of all my McFarlane figures I wasted money on now after not getting the classic Wonder Woman, and said they... Aren't they releasing one coming up here? Didn't they end up releasing a couple of classic Wonder Womans, or was it not the one you were looking for? Yeah, I don't think people like the scale of McFarlane. They're 7 inches, not 1/12, and then they're just, their articulation is just not there. Not to mention their snapping limbs. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've watched reviewers, like, trying to articulate the figure, and then the limb snaps off. Them and NECA seem to have that big problem. Now, one last thing. We're running up. We're starting to wind down here. As far as New York Comic Con, we can't talk about Jada, because they're not going to be there, but we are going to talk about Storm. I expect we see close to a final version of Chun-Li. So that'll be cool to kind of see what her final version, as she's probably set to hit pretty soon. It probably won't be her final version, but close to a final version of Chun-Li. And then I do think in plastic scale, we are going to see Balrog and Akuma. So that is what I'm pretty much predicting for Storm Arena. Now, if they announce another IP, that'd be something, but I'm telling you, I think as far as what we are expecting to see for New York Comic Con from Storm Arena, I expect to see a final version of Chun-Li. Dan and Charlie will probably have their latest renditions up. And then I expect to see Akuma and Balrog, which I'm super excited for. So I did see a leak list of what Hasbro was going to bring. I saw a lot of cool stuff. Now, I don't want to report on that because I don't know, but I saw that Hasbro, they have their own booth and are going to have their own panel at New York Comic Con. So keep an eye out for them. McFarlane's going to be there, so I expect to see some cool stuff through them. One thing I am in on, and I'm going to see real quick if I have it. But man, if you guys missed out on this Bane, for right now, where is it? If you guys missed out on this Bane figure, currently sells for like over $100 on eBay. This is probably one of the best Banes out right now. I know a lot of people say Mafex or Mafex, whatever you want to call it. It's incredibly underscaled. I didn't even end up reviewing that Bane figure because it just wasn't big enough. But man, this figure right here, it is a glow-in-the-dark version. I do think that his little wristband, like all the white looking, I think his mask lights up. I think the tubing lights up. But man, if there was ever a figure to get from McFarlane, this figure right here, it's pretty nice, man. I'm not going to lie. And I mean, to even get a normal one, it's like $140 because that's how many people, a lot of people like this figure too. So the only downside, it doesn't come with fists, so that is annoying, but that's a good one. And then this Joker figure is kind of cool to me for some reason. It's got a soft cape and stuff like that, but another one, what else? Is there anything else? I don't know. I think that's it. I think Walmart Con is going to be huge. Turtle on the verge of being done with everything. Hope they are so I can make more decisions on my Storm Arena purchases. Gotta save money. Yeah, this is an expensive time of the year, man. Marvel figures I want from Hasbro. Dude, there's so much stuff coming out right now. There's horror figures. By the way, I'm sorry I didn't end up getting that horror review. I'm putting out 2 horror reviews. I know a lot of you guys are not into horror figures. This is more just for the horror community. Believe it or not, my horror videos, even though I know a majority of my audience doesn't watch them, they still get watched by other people. So my horror videos actually do fairly well. But I have Art the Clown, normal version. There's a bloody edition of Art the Clown that's hitting Walmarts right now. And then I have that goat, man, a lot of you guys wanted Ghostface, so that's coming out. Who's buying figures for Black Friday? Wait, what? And then Walmart Con is going to have that Mysterio coming out and things like that, so there's just a lot of things going on in the figure world right now. Very expensive time in the figure realm. What are we, 6? Glow in the dark, my backside? I mean, a lot of people like glow in the dark stone. A lot of people like glow-in-the-dark figures. But, I mean, that's a take. If you don't like it, that's fine. I think that's a thing in the community, that everyone just wants one thing to be right or wrong. It's like, if you don't like something, that's fine. But there's no right or wrong answers. Like, you can love Jada, you can hate Jada, you can love Storm, you can hate Storm, you can love Hasbro. Like, someone should do Killer Instinct. I just don't think the properties... I think people like Killer Instinct, but I don't know that there's enough people out there that would buy the figures. One of the most things that's crazy is when people say, you should do Tekken. Guys, please quit acting like Tekken is on the same level of Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. It's not. Tekken, dude, Storm had a hard enough time selling their own Tekken figures. Tekken doesn't sell, okay? It doesn't. They don't just make figures because they're like, oh, people will love nostalgia. They need to make money on these. Tekken does not sell. That King figure is gone on sale for $50 and still hasn't sold out. It doesn't sell. As much as people want to claim they love Tekken, it's not a seller. It doesn't. You can love the game, but Tekken 8 is very popular. It's a popular video game. Is it popular in the action figure community? Probably not. Jada should do Battle Toads. Isn't somebody already making Battle Toads? They never made Yoshimitsu, that's why. God, oh yeah, because that would have saved them. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would argue that King is one of their most popular characters, and Storm could not basically give that figure away. This one right here, let's go into Big Bad Toy Store. I'm pretty sure all their Tekken figures from Storm Collectibles are on sale because they cannot give them away. Tekken. This figure is on sale. Look at all the Tekken figures are on sale because they cannot give them away, folks. Look at this one. This figure right here is finally sold out. This was originally $110. It's sold out finally at $63. I ended up getting this figure on Amazon for $45. They cannot give Tekken figures away, folks. Apparently their stuffies do really well. Sold out, or whatever these Good Smile Company things are. Look at all their... Notice a trend here. I see a lot of on-sale Tekken figures. Because they do not sell. They don't. I know you guys love Tekken. It just is not a property that goes well with the... I didn't get a bootleg. It came... No, it is not a bootleg. Storm has their own website on Amazon, or did. Let me look at something real quick. Is there a way to go? Look at this. Storm has their own website on Amazon. Storm Collectibles, Amazon, Storm Collectibles. This was before they signed their exclusivity deal. So you'll notice none of the Storm Arena stuff is up here because Storm Arena is signed exclusively through Big Bad Toy Store. But see, here's King. Here's King. He's $90 now, but I mean, he goes on sale all the time. I got this guy right here for like $50 before he sold out. Like, these properties that everybody wants things for, they don't sell. Tekken is almost as popular as Street Fighter. You're crazy for underestimating the IP. Well, Venom, a good way to see how well a game is doing is to go look on Twitch. How many people are streaming Tekken 8 right now? Let's go take a look. I'd like to see the numbers, because that would give you a good indication on how popular the game is, right? No matter when it came out or anything. Let's go take a look. Tekken 8. Let's go take a look. How many people are streaming it? Let's take a look. 1,500 people are streaming Tekken 8. That's good. How many people are streaming Street Fighter 6? 4,400 people. 507,000 followers for Street Fighter 6. Tekken 8 has 292,000. I'm just saying, it's not close. They're not close. They're not close. They're not close. I promise you, Tekken is not even close to Street Fighter. Even an all-time property. It's not close. There's no way. He means the merch, not the game? Well, I don't see... all I see are Tekken figures on sale. So, I don't know. If they can't give away one of their most popular characters by a company that makes pretty good figures in Storm Collectibles, King, then that's not a good sign, Stoned. It's just not. I mean, who else would you want to make Tekken figures that could do it better than Storm Collectibles? And they couldn't give that figure away? Oh, no, for sure. Street Fighter goes on sale. For sure they do. I just think Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat were the first ones in the door. Tekken came years later, right? Like 2 or 3 years later from those properties. So it's like they missed a whole craze. They did. They missed a whole craze. I just think Tekken's a newer fighting game compared to Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. I just don't know that they quite... It hits a nostalgia to some degree, but not quite like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Like Tekken, when did Tekken even get announced? On N64? Was that the first game you could play it on? What was Tekken's first console it was able to be played on? I don't even know. Tekken was PlayStation 94? PS1? See, we're talking, that's like 3 consoles later than when Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat were announced. So they just got to the game late. No, they don't take long to load, Stoned. These are live comments. I can read your comments as they come in. I should only be seconds behind when you guys comment. Should be. I mean, it's not to say that I keep up with them all the time, but... That's only 2 years? 2 years is a long time, Eduardo. A long time. Super 7 did the Battletoads? Dude. Well, how's Super 7 doing? I've heard that their company's doing great. They take on a bunch of properties and then... I don't know how they screwed up the Simpsons line. Because they were making great Simpsons figures, but somehow they managed not to get the main cast out. Yeah, I think that's where, like, Tekken has its place, but I don't think it'll... I know that'll be the takeaway from the stream. Oh, Richie hates Tekken. He never liked Tekken. It's like, I from what I've seen, their figures don't sell that well. There's a difference between liking the video game and then wanting figures of the video game. I think, like, I don't know. I don't think I'm in on King of Fighters from Storm Arena either. I don't like that. Like, if we can just look at those real quick and then we'll wrap things up. Those are the characters that I guess we're getting. These are the characters we're essentially getting from Storm Arena. These are just... I mean, I can appreciate the property, but these just seem boring to me. I don't know why. I can't get into this. I got a wannabe E Honda who's not quite fat on the left. I've got Skinny Jean Guile on the right, and then I've got leather button-down shirt Ryu in the middle. I can't get into this. I can't. I'm out on King of Fighters. I might do a review or two on them, but I can't get there. I just can't get into it. I don't know what it is. Just the character styles. And if you love it, that's fine. You're allowed to love it. I'm allowed to not like it. There's so much like, you're wrong. You must love King of Fighters. It's like, no, I cannot like King of Fighters and you can love King of Fighters. That can be a thing. We can exist on the same planet. We can. I know with the world, the way it seems like, it's live or die for your property, but I promise it's not that deep. You can love King of Fighters. To me, they just seem boring. But yeah. I'm just saying. We can exist in the same world. We can, as human beings, and not agree on everything. I promise it'll be okay. Yo, Elijah, what's up, man? I never played King of Fighters either. But I know a lot of people have. I know there's an appreciation for it out there. If you look at the figures themselves, they look very skinny. Like, look at the limbs. Like, look how skinny that arm is. Very skinny. Like, these look like they're going to be very, like, scaled, smaller figures, too. That's crazy. Dude, I might buy this figure just to have the finger flame effect. Like, they look good, but it's like, I just don't have an interest in the... I might buy this figure, though, just so I can get the finger flame effect. That's pretty cool. They're pretty boy fighters. They look like K-pop fighters. That's what they kind of look like. If I had to imagine K-pop is a fighting game, that's what I would think of. I'm sure it's way bigger in, like, yeah, in Japan and over there, but yeah, I can't get into it. And that's okay, and that's fair. Patiently waiting on Jada, why they won't disappoint on Jada, they won't disappoint US collectors. I'm just saying, Hustle, they seem to be going at a little bit slower. I don't think you're getting E-Honda, Akuma, or Balrog this year. So, I think they show up probably early 2025. No, it's already 2025. Early 2026, excuse me. K-pop Demon Hunters, that would probably boost them. US or us? Chat, is it just me or are the comments taking ages to show up on Richie's stream? Let me see. No, they're not. You must be way behind. Because these are showing up as they hit my chat. These aren't showing up delayed. At least not on my side. They're showing them up. They're showing up on my screen as you type in. I think you're behind. Killer Instinct came before Tekken. Rival schools. There, I said it. Rival schools. Interesting. You guys are seeing these comments show up as you type them in, correct? Okay. That's what I'm saying. I thought they were showing up right as fairly fast. Yeah, I was going to say, they should be right there. But guys, that is going to be the stream. We got a big week this week. I've got 2 horror reviews coming. I've got Ghostface and Art the Clown. I know that's not really for the audience in here, but keep an eye out for them. If you could watch them, I'd still appreciate it. And then we got New York Comic Con, and there should be a bunch of videos about that this weekend. So, guys, I love you all. We got a big week ahead of us. Let's pace ourselves, and then we'll have a live stream next Sunday, kind of recapping New York Comic Con and everything else that happened toy news-wise throughout the community. I love you guys all for coming out. I appreciate you all. Again, there are no right or wrong answers, just opinions in the stream. You're allowed to have yours, I'm allowed to have mine, and we can all exist. Be happy. Choose a happy road and live a happy life, and things will go a lot better for you. I'll see you then. Until then, Richie Figs. Later.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh,